Okay, before moving forward, we need to revisit the Spark architecture today because what we'll discuss that will be based on this. So let's revisit the Spark architecture. Let's suppose we have provided the data of 100 GB and we need to work on this data. We prepare the script, and after preparing the script, we prepare the Spark submit, and we are submitted our job. Then Spark session will get created and driver node will get created. It will call the resource manager to provide the required resources. Resource manager will create the resources as per the need. So suppose here for resources, I mean executor node is getting created, and then it will report back to driver. Now driver will take the script and divide that into jobs. Now this is the portion we're going to discuss today. What will happen after this in details. Okay. So you had the little idea, you have the little idea about it. It will create the jobs and divide into jobs. Every job or that part of the jobs will go into the executors and it will process, then report back to the driver. But how it will happen? So we saw this. Okay, this will go to the executor nodes and it will get completed. Now this is the portion 7 and 8 we are going to discuss today further.
Now we learn in the architecture that driver divide our execution plan in different part like job, stage, task, partitions, etc. So we'll learn how a job will get created. So in this screen we have a PySpark script, a small script who is just reading a file, then doing some transformation and showing the file, showing the result at the end. So now in the first block, which I marked as job 1, that is reading a file, and reading is an action. So the basic definition is whenever in a script a action being called, that is creating a job. Now in the second block you can see as job 2. If you check the last line of that block, that is we are doing some count. So that is also an action, right? So that's the reason it is job 2 and job 3. So in the job 3 we are seeing, in the third block we are seeing, we are calling dot show, that will show our result, and that is also an action. So whenever a action will get called, there a block of job will get created. So now let's discuss further how basically a stage get created from a job. So a job particularly get divided into different part, that's called stage. So how a stage get created in a particular script? So now in the screen you can see this is one job, as it has one action only at the last, marked in red, but three stages as two white transformation are being performed in this script. Let's try to understand the block in the script. This is one block only and one job. So first, after reading the file, it is just doing with column function and just modifying a column particular, I mean creating a column, that is a narrow transformation. Then we have filter also a narrow transformation. Then we have group by is a wide transformation. So we'll understand that what is narrow and wide transformation later part in this video. But whenever a wide transformation being called, there it is creating a stage. Here group by is a wide transformation. Then you can see in the screen, then another filter being called. It will not create a stage, but after that join is being performed in step 7, and it is creating another stage. So two stages is being created whenever a new white transformation is being called, and after that a action being called, so that is automatically going to another stage. Let's discuss this a little bit in theory and try to understand what is happening and how it is happening.
So let's start. How it's work in Spark. So you saw our diver note is there. We submitted our script that will driver will create the execution plan, and in that execution plan we can have one or multiple jobs. How it will define a job, let's see here in this portion. When we submit driver, submit your application, divide that work into jobs based on action. So how a job will get decided from that execution plan. So suppose we have a job where we are reading a data, I mean reading a file, then doing some transformation, one or two transformation in that, then calling an action. Let's suppose calling an action to show the data, okay, or collect the data or count the data, okay, that is an action. So whenever a action will get called, that will create a job, okay. I mean, you can take as there in your script there is a 2 3 blocks are available of jobs, okay, where suppose 3 times you are calling in different places after doing some transformation, you are calling one action that can be show, collect, or count, or write, whatever, etc. So you are calling that, okay. Whenever you will call a action or execution plan, you will have a action that will create one job. So if you have multiple action in the execution plan in different places, then you will have more than one or multiple jobs, okay. Each jobs correspond to one action on the data frame. So now your jobs got created, okay. I previous video, I mean, while explaining the architecture, I explain you directly from job to executor, right? Job is coming to executor. Now, inside that, how it is going on? Okay. So data frame got from data frame, several job or one job got created. Let's take a example of one job. Okay. So there, so one job is defined. Suppose we are reading a data. Suppose we are reading a CSV file, and using that file, we are doing some transformation in that. So we saw few example last day. Of transformation. Suppose we are doing a group by operation. Okay. Suppose there is a student data and we are grouping the data based on the courses available. Okay. And the marks. The transformation we are doing is based on the courses available, what is the corresponding mark, total mark for that particular courses achieved by the students. Okay. So if that is the transformation, then uh, our job will use that transformation, do the transformation when we'll call an action, right? So that is a full job till we are calling an action. Now let's see how that job getting divided into stages. After job, it is creating stage. Okay. Now how a job will decide to create stages. So let's read it. Spark split jobs into stages based on white transformation. So suppose we are doing group by now, okay, and while doing group by is a white transformation, okay. Join, when we are doing joins, we are doing white transformation because in this case data will get exchanged between the partitions. So uh, the same example how the job is happening, okay.
Yeah.
So now driver got the execution plan. The execution plan is ready. The job or script you have submitted, okay. How it will execute it, it got decided. Now Spark read the file, read the CSV file. Okay. Now suppose it divided into one job only. Let's take the example of one job where we are doing filter. Okay. Then we are doing group by. Then we are doing action. Okay. That is so or write. We all know write operation, right? We save the file in a particular location, that is called write operation. Okay. So now job got created. Now stage. Okay. Now it will get divided into stage. How it will get divided into stage depend on white transformation. Narrow transformation will not create another stage. Whenever a white transformation will get called, that will create another stage. Set now we have we read the job. Now we have a filter. Now we have a group by. Then we are writing that file, group by result, as a data frame or a table or a file in a particular location. Suppose in the S3 bucket. We are okay. After doing the group by, and we are writing only the group by result in that case. Okay. Now first we have filtered, so that is an error transformation that will not create a stage. But when we are doing group by, that will create another state. So now we will have a stage 0, and then we have action. We are writing that particular file to a location, right? So it is an action. Writing is an action. So when we are putting that, that is creating another stage called stage 0, stage 1. Okay. Now we have two stages in this particular job, small job. We have stage 0 and stage 1. Now in stage, suppose stage 0, where we have the filter and white transformation, that is group by. Okay. Now it will get handled. A stage is split into task, and each task operates on one partition of the data. Now, so we saw here that we got 6 partitions, right, based on the courses. Okay. Now we have suppose 6 partition, and we call the group by. Okay. Now when we call group by operation, our filter happen. Okay. Then our group by is happening. There we are seeing that we have 6 partition. Each partition uh, will get converted, I mean will get considered as a task. Okay. Each partition, 6 partition means we have now 6 tasks. Okay. So 6 tasks we have. Now it will go each task to the executor. Suppose we have 4 executors, each and 6 tasks. It will go to each executor one by one. 6 tasks will go to each executor. Now executors will complete the task one by one or together parallelly. Okay. Parallelly completed 4 tasks. Suppose 2 tasks got completed first, then uh, which 2 tasks left, which we did not provide it to the executor before, that will go to the executor, and total 6 tasks will get completed. Okay. Okay.